I need you to trust me. One last time.
This film picks up immediately after the ending of Dead Reckoning. Now, if you haven't seen that movie, you don't need to, because the first 40 minutes of this movie is exposition, because you're sort of in there watching it being like, okay, when's this going to like start getting rolling? But you know, coming into this movie, it's Mission Impossible fans. You love Mission Impossible, you love Tom Cruise, so you're coming in to see it like that. I just wish that Tommy had had a bit more trust in the fans that they'd seen part one, essentially, because we all have.
Tom, everyone who's watching this one has seen the rest of your franchise.
Yes.
You've been doing it for now 25 years,
Yeah.
mate. We know your movie. We know what you're going to do. Yep.
Yeah.
Trust us to believe
Exactly.
we've watched all of it, brother. We have.
We've literally seen every single one. So that for me, the starting of the movie and how the movie got rolling, the nostalgia was all there. I loved it because, you know, you're watching the montage of all the different scenes, but it was slow. And you're sort of just like, okay, I see now why this movie went for 3 hours.
This one, out of all of the Mission Impossible opening scenes, I felt was a little weak compared to most of them. You know what I mean? Like, the first one was probably the equal, I'd say, to this, the opening scene for that. But it's something about this one just felt like it wasn't it. But you do know, like you're saying, 40 minutes of exposition.
Yeah. And
it's kind of slowly kind of bring you up. And it's the last movie, so he maybe was trying to, you know, give a bit of an homage to everyone.
I think even Tommy himself in this first 40 minutes was like, I don't care so much about the movie flowing that well. I'm just going to take a moment for myself to just appreciate and also give myself a round of applause, and also all the people who've been involved in the Mission Impossibles, to just give us a moment. We love them. I could go back and watch every single Mission Impossible and absolutely love every single one for different reasons. So he's allowed to, it's Tom Cruise. The man runs Hollywood. The man is like the last vestige of old Hollywood action hero guy that's still surviving to this day.
Yeah.
You know, he's the only one who's still going at the peak of his powers at the age of 60 odd or whatever he is, doing the craziest stunts, which we're going to get into a little bit later. So he's allowed to spend the first 40 minutes of this movie paying homage to himself.
I mean, if you watch the trailers, the guy's jumping out of planes, he's submerged in water. You're like, holy shit, it's going to be bigger and better than ever, because that's his goal for most of the movies, to make him crazier and crazier. Then you're like, what the fuck am I watching with this opening scene? It's so slow, it's drawn out. I mean, the acting didn't really feel too good, but in saying that, the acting, there was really no dialogue, so does it really matter? And I don't think no one goes here for the dialogue. We know that.
Of course. It's what you come here for, because you love the corniness so much. That side of thing, of course, it's going to be corny. You love that.
Yeah.
I could watch TCB corny forever.
Yeah, exactly.
He is corny.
Black, still action-packed, and dope, I keep it flipping like acrobat. That's why
He's the corniest guy ever.
Literally, bro, what a career change around. Everyone used to dislike him. Come back, now he's a legend.
Yeah.
Legend. He literally is the last Hollywood celebrity that's like a pinnacle of movies.
Yeah.
Everyone knows him.
He is. He's literally a legend.
You think like on a pedestal. You know what I mean? Like The Rock, I don't really feel pedestal with him because he's done so many of other things. He's diversified himself. So Tom TC, bringing all of he can bring, the only man to run franchises, the only man to bring sequel to a movie in Top Gun and make $1 billion.
Like, also 30 years later, 20 years later.
It doesn't. This guy can do it all, and this is why we're here to watch this film, and so are you probably.
Everyone else's star has slightly fallen. I mean, they've just gotten older. TC? Nah. I mean, that Scientology blood is just keeping this man young. He's jacked in this again. Like, I mean, I literally wrote down in my notes, this was one last time for TC to get the rig out. He has the rig out in this movie. He's got the shirt off. He's got I don't think in many of the other Mission Impossibles I've seen him take the shirt off.
Yeah,
so I reckon he knew. I reckon he's like, fuck it, let's just do this. Let's just get going. Like, I'm 60 years old. I'm going to just show what I've still got.
And speaking about Scientology, I felt like I was completely indoctrinated in the first opening.
The numbers, Mason. What do they mean?
The numbers, Mason. What do they mean?
They flashed immediately on the screen what they were going to show you.
I get it now. I'm joining. Yeah.
Both Joy and I flew over to LA. That's where we were for a bit.
I gave him all my money. This video is about to pop off. We're about to get 100,000 million views.
Exactly. Also,
no, you have to cut that out. You have to cut that out. You actually can't say that.
the whole like enemy side of this is Gabriel is back, and he's looking for like an AI to take over the world, and if you give the entity the power, it can use all the nukes to destroy the world, which is kind of like prevalent now, more now than it was in the last movie, right?
He's just showing us about what's going to happen in the next 10
Pretty
years.
much. Yeah. It's literally just giving you a peek of the Mandela effect of what's going to happen.
Once the AIs take over the weapons and shit like that. We've already seen it with, Arnold Schwarzenegger's already showed us.
Fuck you.
it then goes into this bit where Tom Cruise needs to get into a chamber, right? And he's going to see now what the entity is going to show him, what Gabrielle has seen. So he's kind of getting like one up on him. And he then gets locked down. And then the CGI for this, I thought was impeccable. You see like the Big Brother eye. If anyone in Australia, shout out to them.
Yeah,
you go right into the eye, and it just has like a big spiral of numbers and like patterns, and it just makes you think that this is exactly what like reality would be like if you are in a video game.
True.
Right? And then as he jumps out of that, the whole movie from that point, I thought, is this all fake? Is he still in the bed the whole time?
Yeah.
It had me confused.
I wish they went down that route too.
Yeah, it was so odd. I was like, because there was
we were certain that it was fake.
Yeah,
he was still in the cryo chamber.
Yeah, the cryo chamber.
Yeah.
And I thought that like there was little things you'd pick out through the movie. You're like, I'm looking at the actors' eyes and they're crying, but they're not really crying. You don't know if that's the acting or if that's like the AI not be able to generate the eye, because you hear that shit all the time when you go on like you doom scroll.
Yeah.
You're like, AI can't replicate hands and mouths correctly.
Yeah.
So you think that maybe the eye can't be so like you're already like tapped in that this is what the movie showed.
Would have been cool if they went down that route.
It would have been cool, the thriller aspect, but you can't do that Mission Impossibles, I guess. Spoiled it if anyone else is thinking that.
Of course, because Tommy's got to save the day, but at the end of the day, like, that's what it's got to be. So that wouldn't really, but that would have been cool if they went down that route. But also, like going along that, a big chunk of the movie is underwater, where he's in like submarines or he's in like the Antarctic water and he's doing diving, he's doing deep sea diving, these sort of things. I mean, if you have thalassophobia or you're claustrophobic, this will be like the worst thing on the screen for you to watch, because it literally just embodies all of that on the screen. But these were some of the coolest sequences I've seen Tom Cruise do in a Mission Impossible movie.
Agreed.
Underwater, making it look real. I mean, the sequence where the submarine is sinking and he's like pretty much doing parkour through the submarine as it sinks, so cool. Had you on the edge of your seat. He just took it up to another level. I mean, we haven't even spoken about the airplane scenes, but the underwater scenes, only TC could make them look that good.
Literally. And when he opens up the hatch and jumps out of a submarine to try and grab the other submarine, it looks like that photo from the Meg when the girl looks up and she sees the shark.
Yeah.
You get so shocked.
The thalassophobia in you.
Dude, I never want to see that in my life. You open that hatch, you see a gigantic fucking submarine, and then you're like, holy shit, what else is around?
That sub looks scary. Yeah, just
no music, by the way. There's zero music, and you just hear like entity of the fucking submarine.
Because you're thinking like deep sea water, there shouldn't be anything there, and then he opens up the hatch, boom, submarine just in your face, and that embodies the thalassophobia. I think they knew that thalassophobia is something that everyone has, or like most people have. It'll get a reaction, and it did, because you're like, oh yeah, let's see where this is going here.
Yeah, and not all the scene was exactly great, like it was in terms of action, but when you get to reality. Come on, man. He's so far down.
Yeah, he should have been frozen to death.
He should have exploded. Like the pressure on his head.
Everything.
And he, by the way, this guy like somehow wrangles his way out of the suit, gets the helmet through, and then has to ditch the helmet. I mean, come on, man. I know it's Tom Cruise, and I'm sure he can do this in real life. But
he trained.
This is ridiculous.
They took him down in the Ocean Gate sub, and they let him out just before it imploded, and they fucking got TC to do. He swam up. He got the bends. He literally got the bends. Had to go in a decompression chamber.
Yeah.
I mean, the realism of the movie went out the window a little bit. I mean, in the airplane scenes, you can kind of get along with the fact that TC... I mean, he was doing that,
actually
really.
did it, yeah.
But the submarine scene, you were sort of like, okay, his lungs would have exploded, his brain would have been popped, he would come up crazy. Yeah, so that sort of went out the way of realism, but... it looked fucking cool, so you accept it. And another like interesting part, now this is less actiony, more just you're observing the movie and you're like, how the fuck did Tom Cruise get away with this? When he's walking on London Bridge, I think it is, or he's walking on the bridge towards Big Ben, the street is empty. Only Tom Cruise could get London empty on the busiest street arguably in the UK when tourism and you think about that sort of stuff, and he gets it free for him to film a scene that goes for a minute.
Yeah.
1 minute. He probably spent $100 million just on that one scene right there. Only TC could get that. There's nobody else.
He shouldn't even have to pay for it, okay? Just let him have his fucking...
True.
Let's just let him have it.
Yeah.
The guy's done 25 years, like we said.
Yeah.
Let him have 1 minute scene of where he's running down. If he has any dream, he's definitely achieved it in not just the movies, but this movie specifically.
Part of it makes me think, though, that it was a soundstage only because he did not get mugged by someone with a machete.
So true.
And he had his phone out and it wasn't stolen off him by some kid on a bike.
Agreed.
So that's the only thing where I think, was he really in London? I don't think so.
Soundstage,
Exactly, because he knew that they were going to fucking roll up and steal him.
100%.
So,
or he posted one bad thing online and the cops were going to help him out. You get him out. So it's a little bit of realism side.
That's where the realism went out the door. Like, come on, TC, we know you're not actually in London, guy.
Exactly.
You got through that whole whole scene without being robbed, and cops actually showed up, so you're not actually there. If you're on social media, across social media, you've seen the behind the scenes of TC on the aeroplane. Incredible. We saw a little bit of this in the last movie. This one, he just takes it to the next level. He's got a tiny little harness, fish line, attaching him to the wing of the plane. That's it. So if that breaks, he is a man on his own. He's got no parachute, nothing like that. He's just got this little fish wire hanging out the back that is connecting him to the plane. I mean, incredible. I read somewhere that he had to reshoot one of the particular scenes where the plane is doing a barrel roll 5 or 6 times because he kept getting knocked out because of how much G's there was. Like, this man's putting his life on the line. When you think, like, the scene in the last movie where he rides the motorbike off the cliff, 10 times he did it to get the perfect shot. There's never going to be another one like Tom Cruise.
If he does not go down as the greatest stuntman ever,
yeah.
I don't know who is.
Agreed.
I really don't. We watched
Ryan Gosling and Fall Guys.
Like I say, we watched Fall Guys as well with Aaron Taylor Johnson and shit.
Yeah.
Dude, way better. Tom Cruise actually does his stunts. He's been doing it for so long. I can't believe that he did that. And you can see that how much he was struggling with it. That's why, like, with certain scenes, you can tell it's not real. You can tell it's CGI. You can tell they put it in. And this one, his hair looks like round his head. It is fully flatlined down here, like a coconut.
You can't
fake that.
Fake that in like a soundstage or with like a fan blowing. That's like actual G-force air blowing against his face. You can see like the skin of his face, like his jowls quivering from like the force pushing his cheeks back. Like you can't fake that. And TC knows that. That's why he does this shit, because he's a fucking king. And
apparently G-force is supposed to aid you. This guy's walking his way backwards. I don't know if G-force is having a negative effect on him. I don't really know.
That's all that.
It's insane.
You know what is. Yeah.
So anyway, we always end these reviews with a rating, and this is going to get an 8 from me. I think this deserves 80%. There was little things I didn't like at the end, how like you're sending him off, right? Yeah. You're sending Tom Cruise off with a well done for 25 years. I felt like it really wasn't emotional enough. I felt like they needed to cry, or someone needed to hug someone. There was kind of just a nod, and that was really about it, right? And
but it ended the way Mission Impossible.
And I was just about to say, I think that's how spies would kind of do it, though. Yeah. They would kind of be like, where's the cry and the hug?
We survived.
They wouldn't do that.
Get out of here. Yeah.
I wish it was a little bit more emotion. I wish that him and Haley kissed a little bit, something like that. But it is what it is. Shout out to Tom Cruise with the action stunts, with anything that he did. The guy is just impervious to age and death, I guess. He's just the greatest.
I would rate it 80% so long as you skip the first 40 minutes of the movie and just start it at 40 minutes in. Then you get what the movie should be. I give it an 8 out of 10 from that point. Thank you, TC. I don't know if he's actually done or not. I don't know if he's really done. It makes it out like he is, but it's Tom Cruise. You know, he's probably going to come back in like 3 years with a stunt that he's been thinking of in his head, and he can finally do it. So, thank you for now, TC, but I reckon he's coming back.
He did say he was going to do this shit till he's 100. I mean, come on. He's going to be there forever.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Question of the day.
What is your favourite Mission Impossible? Which is your favourite Mission Impossible movie? For me, it has to be number 2, only because it's filmed in Sydney.
Do you know what? Why is that rated the lowest?
Yeah.
Why? It's such a fucking good movie.
It looks ridiculous. It's a ridiculous movie because it's just like...
My one has to be Ghost Protocol, bro. When he was running on the Dubai, on fucking Burj Khalifa, come on, that's iconic.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, been another NCUT movie review. Peace, we out, and cut.